Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from Strange Story 352 and says, would I be the arsehole if I told my best friend's boyfriend that she cheated on him last weekend? I'm feeling a bit conflicted because my absolute best friend of 11 years made a pretty big mistake last weekend. We went out downtown for drinks and dancing because her relationship has been a bit rocky lately. They've been together for 8 years and have 2 kids together. Last weekend she said she was going to break up with him, so she slept with a guy she met while we were at the bar. In the last week, her and her boyfriend have decided to stay together, and she told me she is taking what she did to the grave. I told her that he really deserves to know. She's been cheated on before, so she knows how much it sucks. I feel like I'm in a weird position because my loyalty is to my friend, but my morals are loyal to anyone. My guts tell me to tell him, but my heart knows that that will end our friendship and potentially their relationship. I'm currently planning on calling him tonight to tell him. I want to give her a heads up before I do it, so she can decide if she would rather tell him herself. Would I be the arsehole? So of course the comments were saying, OP, you need to tell him, he deserves to know, everyone deserves to know if they're being cheated on. OP responded saying, ugh, the issue with that is, I'm the only person that knows besides her and the guy she cheated with. She literally said, if her boyfriend ever found out, I'll know it was you. Commenter says, weren't you two in public where anyone could have seen her hitting on guys or vice versa? One of his friends could have been at the bar. How close are you to him? Are you friends? I feel for you as I would have a real problem not telling one of either of them. I'd stay out of it. OP says, we do refer to each other as family. Like he says, I'm his little sister and I refer to him as a brother. So yes, we are close, but mostly because of my friends. He's always been there for me when I had a crazy ex threaten my safety. So I think that's an aspect. He always looks out for me, so I feel I need to do the same here. Commenter says, you should definitely give her the opportunity to tell him herself at the very least, and discuss what that timeline may look like before giving any ultimatums to her. If they have kids, she may not be able to have this discussion on a weeknight. People work, have home/kid responsibilities. People don't want to be crying, yelling, fighting in front of their children. What's going on in his life? Is this information going to crush him and ruin or jeopardize something important to him? Maybe she wants to do this in the presence of a counselor. This is going to be hard, emotional, a tough discussion with some tough decisions for them to make. They may need a babysitter. The truth typically comes out, and if your friend has some decency, having this secret will tear her up. Give her a chance to do the right thing. Also, as you mentioned, you telling him will ruin your relationship with your friend, and he may get mad at you for some reason and they may still stay together anyways. Or you telling him instead of her will end any chance of them working it out themselves. And if your friend doesn't tell him, and this goes against your morals, is this a friend you even want to have in the first place? Losing your friendship because she won't do the right thing is also a consequence, and maybe one you can dish out that's more in your lane. OP says, this is really great insight. You bring up some really great points. One thing you mentioned that is that in the back of my head is, my opinion of her has changed since last weekend. I tend to view people who cheat as people with little or no empathy or morals. So I'm even questioning if she fits in my life the same now. Because if she can cheat on her boyfriend/father of her kids, she could also betray me. And yes, their kids are very young, but nonetheless you are right. They probably want to have a safe place to do this. I'm the only one to trust to watch their kids, so perhaps I can offer her that. I will hang out with the kids while they have that conversation for as long as they need. I think giving her until Sunday night feels right since she doesn't work and he is off this weekend. What do you think about that? People saying to OP that she should end their friendship with a friend because it's revealed the friend's character. And OP says it was more like, friend texts me that she's been wanting a girls' night. She's been cooped up in the house a lot and things have been up and down with her boyfriend. Would I be up for trying a new bar/lounge that opened up? So OP does come in with an update and says, I called her on Friday just telling her that I wasn't comfortable carrying this secret for her. My moral compass tells me that her boyfriend deserves to know. And as 2 women, me and her, have both been cheated on, I expect her to understand. So I told her she needed to tell him this weekend, or I would. I offered to take the kids out to get ice cream and a movie so they could have the house and afternoon to themselves to talk through this. I also let her know that it would sound so much better coming from her. The opportunity to work through this would probably be higher because accountability and honesty are important in relationships. She didn't respond too well to this. She told me that it was none of my business and I would just be trying to ruin her relationship. She also let me know she would never forgive me. I let her know that I wasn't seeking her forgiveness and that it was my business when she chose to cheat on her boyfriend on our girls' night, and that I wouldn't be the one ruining her relationship. Her actions would be. She was very upset and rejected my offer to watch her kiddos, but she said she would have the conversation after she put the kids down to bed. I followed up yesterday morning to see if she had the conversation. She left me on red at 10:53 a.m. I sent another later that evening around 5 p.m. to find I'd been blocked. So I took that as my answer and FaceTimed her boyfriend. I did have an image from that night of her at the bar with the guy she cheated with. I took it as I was leaving to get in my Uber. She insisted that I leave her alone that night, even though I told her she was making a big mistake. At first, he thought I was making this up, but after he was able to ask some questions and saw the picture, he simply thanked me for letting him know. He let me know he's going to get tested because they've been intimate in the last week since she cheated. I'm unsure where the relationship stands, and I'm pretty confident I won't ever really know, as my best friend has now blocked me on everything. I expected the friendship to end, whether I told him or not, because I don't want to be surrounded by anyone who betrays someone they're supposed to love. I've started receiving a lot of scam calls for insurance quotes and a few "fuck you" texts from an unknown number. I assume these are her, which makes sense because she has done that to others in the past that she felt burned her. Someone questions OP on the boyfriend's reactions to the truth, then if she has heard from him yet. OP says I do not, but I may hear from our friend group at some point. He's a pretty level-headed guy. I could tell from his tone he was more hurt than anything. Maybe a smidge of anger. So tough telling what will happen. I'll report back if I hear. One of our mutual friends called me last night after she spoke to the cheater, so I have an update. They have agreed to split. I guess this has been an issue from early in their relationship. She cheated about 1 year in, so it was the final straw for him. They will split custody and she'll be moving out in the next 2 months when her finances allow. A commenter who was downvoted says, I have a hard time believing that your motives are as pure as you say. If you knew about her harassing people in the past and were fine staying friends with her. OP says fair to question. She would always put our friends' ex's numbers into insurance quotes or post on Craigslist with their numbers. It never seemed concerning to me because it's an annoyance, but not threatening in any way. To be honest, I kinda think it's laughable. I wouldn't be saying that if she was threatening people, but I don't mind an insurance quote, lol. If you don't think I'm pure, I'm okay with that. Commenter says, I wholeheartedly disagree. By all means distance yourself from the two of them if you're uncomfortable hanging around them with that knowledge. But that's her relationship. It's her life, and I really believe you are making this whole situation about you, about your morals, about what you're comfortable with. You honestly don't have a crystal ball, and you can't know what outcome is the best. Especially with men you don't know and how they react to these kind of things. You could have put her and her kid's life in danger by irresponsibly laying that truth bomb on someone. I grew up in a broken home from cheating. I've seen great people slip and make mistakes. Some people make promises they can't keep. It's painful, but I'd never dream of inserting myself into their drama. The truth always comes out, and it comes out at the right time. Opie says, I do think it's worth addressing her safety after sharing what she did. I know her partner pretty well, and while I understand he could surprise me, I genuinely was never concerned about her safety. He's not an aggressive guy by any means, so this was and isn't a concern. Furthermore, she's a professional boxer, so she can also hold her own. Commenter says, classic traits of a cheater, placing blame in everyone but themselves. You were nice and told her to tell. She didn't. Her actions are the reason she's in her current predicament. Good for you. Another commenter says, not the arsehole. Good job in exposing a cheater. Cheaters should be aware that there are consequences for cheating. And there were some interesting comments below this one. Most people just saying he absolutely deserved to know the truth in this situation. One, because he's obviously being cheated on, but two, for his safety at the same time with STIs. But there was interesting comments below that as well, saying that they would never tell on a friend with something like this and that they would absolutely take it to the grave. But what do you guys make of this situation? What do you make of OP's choice? Would you do the same? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Saltleg7235 from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit, and it says, "Am I the arsehole for refusing to listen to my husband about my breasts? I want to have breast reduction surgery. I will not be asking him to spend any money on me. We both work and we put aside equal amounts of money for private accounts, for private savings and spending, so please don't make it about money. I've been talking about this surgery since I turned 40, but I've dreamed about it since I was 15. Whenever I spoke about it, he would sit silent and listen. Supported me, I thought. And he asked if I wanted him to go to my first consultation, and I was very happy. Consultations are usually private here, but he wanted to tag along for the first part of the consultation. When I talked to the doctor, who is an internationally respected doctor, my husband sat silent at first. Then he asked when the psychological evaluation would happen. The doctor was puzzled and explained that I am an adult. My husband got irritated and almost yelled, "So you would not mind operating on people with body dysmorphia?" The doctor and nurse were shocked and I was livid. When we got home, I was destroyed. I'm scared I've lost my opportunity with the best surgeon in the country and probably one of the best in the world. My husband insisted I needed therapy and that he will not allow me to have the surgery because I look perfect. I asked him what he meant, not allowing me. I was very angry and crying. He said, "Well, I will do anything. Tell your family you are mentally unstable and I will leave you." Thankfully, I made a new appointment and the doctor was too kind. I have my new appointment on Wednesday. My husband is livid and said he will never look at or touch me again. My word, so he went from looking like he was supporting you in your decision to then ambushing you at the consultation by suggesting that you have body dysmorphia. That is just absolutely cruel. And then started on with threats as well, saying, "I will not allow you." He's going to tell your family that you're mentally unstable and then threatening to leave you. I mean, all of that combined, I can't see a way of coming back from that. The way he's spoken to you, that he's not going to allow you to do this, he's threatened to leave you, he's going to tell your family mentally unstable. It's absolutely wild. This isn't an impulse decision. This is something you thought about and that you wanted since you was 15 years old, discussing it for years. And honestly, whenever we see stories like this, especially when I see the "I will not allow you" kind of stuff, I always think, is there stuff behind this as well? Is this a first time event this has happened? Or has this been in the past at the same time? I mean, frankly, for me, I just wouldn't be able to look at that person the same way again. But the Katie Cat says you might lose an extra couple of £100 in emotional baggage, along with the extra breast tissue. And I can consider that to be a good thing. Men truly don't understand what it's like to have large breasts. I'm a Nerdy Bastard says this: your body, your choice. He's allowed to be bothered by it. He does like you and your body the way you are. He's allowed to leave if he can't handle it. You don't have to tolerate him being a dick about it. Wanting a reduction isn't mental illness. I'd wager you got a larger than average bust, even by American standards, and that comes with back pain, expensive and hard to find bras that wear out far too quickly, ill-fitting clothing, boob sweat, social stigma, or fetishization. And who the hell knows what else? I'm a dude, and as much as I want, not an expert on boobs. He's way off base about that, and threatening to lie to the people around you is completely uncool. Kick him out until he gets his shit together, or else. Intelligence says, "Oh, OP. You should get him a super heavy fake chest and see how he likes going to work with an extra 20 pounds on his chest. Ask him how his back feels after a few days. See how well he can sleep after a week." Shadow Dancer says, "If your whole marriage is contingent on the size of your breasts, he's got to go." Personally, after he said that, I would have shown him the door. At 40 some years old, he can go and try and find the perfect body he wants. Good luck, buddy. Unless he's got real money, he's going to be very lonely and deserves to be. He's a real piece of work. Difficult Regret says, "Exactly. Boobs change and sag. Hell, I'm almost 40 and mine have gone lopsided and succumbing to gravity. And, God forbid, if OP gets cancer and needs a mastectomy." Turnover Grouchy says, "Your husband is abusive, threatening to tell people you are mentally unwell if you decide to do something you want to do. I'd have ended the relationship after he sabotaged the consultation by trying to make the doctor believe you didn't have the capacity. What a cruel person he is. I hope you're okay, as he really isn't a decent person." So it wasn't too long after that OP came in with an update and says, so yesterday I was here complaining about my husband, and my gut feelings were right after seeing the reactions here that my husband is crossing a boundary by trying to control how my body looks. So this morning I told him this. He just sat silently and listened to me. Then he said that he wasn't trying to control me or coerce me, but at the same breath he said he loved my body. If I'm not taking his opinions into consideration, then he knows that I don't care about his opinion. He would not look at me the same way or touch me. I said that I didn't want to be married to someone who doesn't want to touch me, and he said then we won't be married. But remember that I love you, and you are breaking up with a man who loves you because of superficial changes I want to do to my body. He would stay for the recovery, then he moves out after Christmas. I said I was going ahead with my surgery, and he just shook his head. He cried later in the garden. I can't believe him. He sounds final, like he's been thinking about divorce for a while. I've been waiting for this surgery for 2.5 years because of how busy this doctor is, and my preliminary surgery date is in November. I have a consultation soon. I'm going ahead with my plans and he can go with his. According to him, if I'm free to choose what I do with my body, he's free to leave when it doesn't suit him anymore. P.S. Many are asking about the surgery, and it is breast reduction. And no, I'm not doing it for medical reasons since I have no back or head pains. I'm not that big to have these problems. It is purely cosmetic. This is the most important part of my beef with him. I know you mean well by bringing up health benefits, but this is about my rights to control how I look. He would 100% have supported me if it was for medical reasons because he has in the past. Thanks. Commodore says, my guess is this is just one of many items between you two. Yours and Forever says, yeah, this post is not complete due to missing relevant info. Gotta be more going on than breast reduction. Sunshine Chick says, if he really loved you, the size of your tits would not be the determining factor of whether he stays with you. If he chooses to leave because he can only be with a woman who has breasts of over a certain size, he's a sleazeball who never deserved you. Crazy, he's trying to blame his choices and misogyny on you. Another commenter says, yeah, he's 100% free to leave, like you're free to do your surgery. That's just how life is. And one more comment that says, the issue is more that he's giving her the inappropriate ultimatum and then making it out to be that she is choosing a reduction over him. He should have never forced the choice. But now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now our next story comes from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit. It's from a deleted user which says, am I the arsehole for protesting my parents having more kids by not doing as many chores as I did before? My parents have 8 kids, including me, 17 male. In order of age it goes me, Amy 13, B 11, Cal 9, Dex 8, Eva 7, Finn 6, and Gwen 2. Dex and Eva aren't my parents' bio kids. Their bio mum was my mum's best friend, and when she died, mum and dad adopted them like mum's best friend wanted. It's been a couple of years since my parents adopted them. Last month, my parents told me and my siblings that they were having another baby. This will be kid 9 for them, and the bedroom's already split between a boy's room and a girl's room, and I'm relied upon for a lot of stuff, and my parents consider it all my chores. I don't drive or have a car, but the siblings who go to school, I walk them to school and walk them home. I help with homework and any school projects that need to be done. Twice a week I walk them to the free activity centre for kids under 14 because my parents want them to have extracurriculars and can't afford the paid ones and don't want them in school activities. If any of them need to go somewhere after school, that's my job to get them there. When we don't have school, I have to make lunch and dinner Monday to Friday and babysit all the kids. I have to keep the house clean, which means vacuuming, dusting, cleaning both bathrooms, taking out the trash and picking up after my siblings and putting things back that they take out. This is an everyday thing. Most of the time I do everyone's laundry too. Mum used to do it more, but she started leaving that for me more and more. When mum and dad want to grocery shop, I either have to babysit or go along and make sure my siblings behave for our parents. My parents make me update the weekly schedule so they know what's going on. They never tell me if things change. It's all supposed to be on me to keep track of. I have to tell my parents if my siblings need something for school or if we need cleaning supplies at home. If we order takeout and they don't want to pay for delivery, they'll have me go pick it up. We get takeout a lot unless I'm off school. These are all the things my parents consider to be my chores. Not all of them are all the time, but more of the stuff gets dumped on me than before. And when one of my parents does something off this list, they complain I'm stressing them out worse. Whenever mum does laundry now, she makes it sound like I had all the kids and expected her to clean up after them. They get really angry when we're late to school and they get calls, but I have to walk everyone, and not all my siblings behave good. My parents were angry at me last year for telling my school what was going on when I was quizzed about college and other stuff. I told the guidance counselor and school counselor everything, and they called my parents. My parents told me I was ungrateful and they provide me so much more than the other kids my age have in poor countries, so I should be thankful I get to take care of my family for them. All that stuff made me explode when my mum said she was pregnant again. I was in a total of what the fuck state of mind because what the fuck? We don't have enough room for all of us as it is, but they want to add another kid and they expect me to step up more and have 2 kids not going to school that I take care of. It made me feel like they keep having us because they have me, so I stopped. They tried punishing me, but I stopped. I protested them having more kids by not doing anything. I walk to school alone, walk home from school alone, do my own homework, don't clean up or make food or do anything. My parents tried to punish me for it, and I just didn't care, so they dropped it. I talked to my guidance counselor more and we talked about community college or trades since I won't get the grades for a scholarship and don't have the money for other college options. My parents ended up really fucking pissed off at me because my siblings' behavior got worse when I stopped doing everything. None of them ever did chores and don't want to. My parents don't want to fight, so they're stuck doing everything and they complain so much. I enjoy it, but they saw me and told me I should be ashamed for doing this. And they said that my new sibling will feel like shit when they realize I didn't want them this much. And my siblings are the people who will suffer most for me doing shit. They said I'm supposed to look out for them as the elder sibling. Am I the arsehole? I want to know what the parents are actually doing in this situation because what Opie is describing is not chores at all. It's full-time childcare and he's managing the household at the same time, walking the kids to and from school, making meals, do everyone's laundry, schedules. And the fact is, you didn't choose to have 8 kids. That was their choice. And everything else around it is just manipulative, trying to guilt trip you about the new baby feeling unwanted and the siblings feeling unwanted. I think you should really keep working with your guidance counselor because as much as it's easy for me to say in this situation, I think you're better off out of it when you can. But a commenter says to OP, not the arsehole. On the plus side, in a year you will be a legal adult and can move out. Start planning and saving money now. OP says it's less than a year, and I think I'll have to leave as soon as my birthday comes because my parents will make things even more impossible when I turn 18. They remind me I should drop out to help the family more. Commenter replies saying, do not drop out. Are they crazy? They expect to give up your future and life to be their free nanny and housemaid. Run away the second you turn 18, kid. OP says they told me for a while that I should focus more on the family and less on school. We even argued before over me taking time away from chores for homework because I don't get the time to do mine when the siblings do theirs. And people on the back of this one were just saying, that's child abuse. Talk to Me says, not the arsehole. You are indentured servant. OP, you're supposed to look out for them as their sibling, but they have no responsibility to look out for them and you as the parents. What the hell are they going to do when you leave home? And I'm begging you, OP, leave home as soon as you can. Don't let guilt or even love of your sibs keep you there. Establish your own life and pursue your dreams. We can get a room in a college town and grind until you save enough for college. You're smart and God knows you're a multitasker. You're a grinder, and no job you will get will be as tough as the one your parents have co-signed you to. And one more comment from Tal War who says, we know a teen who was in a similar situation. They basically had to give up their childhood to be a third parent. It was not good for their mental or physical health. So my advice to you is, watch out for your own health. Seek out therapy if you need it. Maintain control over whatever financial resources you have and work on securing your future independence, driver's license, etc. And when you can, try to foster relationships with your siblings that are based on you being a big brother rather than a second dad. Stories like these ones are absolutely heartbreaking when there's kids involved, so many kids involved as well, especially OP who's doing all this at 17 years old. Should be living his life, getting an education and looking forward to his future, but instead is dealing with this bullshit. I really do hope that he does work with his guidance counselor and and is able to make steps in the right direction for himself, because he absolutely deserves it. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.